This episode of SESSLER'S Something is brought to you by lynda.com.
All right, everyone. The consoles are out. It's done. That was a amazing rush of enthusiasm and vibrant discussion and things over the past couple of months, but we got across the finish line. I'd like to also thank everybody on the Red3 Games team, all four of you. We are a very, very small team, and it still is kind of astonishing to me the amount of content that we were able to put out as in this run-up to the launches, to say nothing of the 3-hour live streams. And thank you very much, the viewers out there, for watching it. If you have not seen our coverage, both of the Xbox One reviews and of the PlayStation 4 reviews, go check it. It's right there. It's available. It's great stuff, very informative. Perhaps you haven't made your decision. So consoles came out. I decided to kind of retreat a little bit, but I did notice, there's these flurries that seem to happen on my Twitter feed ever so often. It almost always seems to be connected to something on NeoGAF, because everyone's using the exact same phrasing. This was about microtransactions and the fact that they are present in Forza 5. They are also present in Ryse. You can also find them in Crimson Dragon as well. I voiced my concerns about it in my Ryse review because I felt it very strange there, and I'll get to that in a second. I did not actually mention it much in the Forza review because there, to be honest, the microtransactions kind of made sense. I can see that there's a reasonable human being who may have like responsibilities and jobs, family, something like that, but they really want to play this game and they really want to drive a Lamborghini. If you want to spend some extra money to kind of jump ahead and get to that point, it actually makes sense. And moreover, it was the placement of it inside of the game. It just, maybe because you are fundamentally buying things with credits, that having a secondary purchase point that was for actual money did not feel as overt, as kind of in your face. And because the game was so damn enjoyable to play, I was more than looking forward to working up to a car of that level by my own blood, sweat, and this muscle right here. With Ryse, I decided to point it out because it seemed so unnecessary. I played the game on the normal difficulty, and there was nothing in the game that gave me the impression that somehow I couldn't get to the end, that I would make my experience that much better by kind of jacking up my level early on. That really doesn't usually make a game very, very fun at all. And it just felt that much more overt, probably because that type of a game, that type of action game is something I've never seen with a pay-as-you-go or pay-to-play or pay-to-win type model put into it. And because it seemed almost like a square peg in a round hole, I felt it necessary to point out. There's none of the issues I had with Ryse had anything pertinent to the microtransactions, but you almost started to feel that sense that there's something obligatory, kind of 6-axis controls in early PS3 games, that are we going to start to see this kind of monetization opportunity? Like I said, didn't affect what I saw to be the structure, the design of Ryse, but you can start to see something pernicious coming in where that could start to affect how a game developer would need to approach a game. I've heard many, many occasions of smaller games, stuff on iOS, where the game has been developed and then once it's done, it's being told to go free to play, and you have to redo that kind of model. They are two very different philosophies of game design. I understand the concerns that people have when they see it, even though I think in the current practical application on console games, it's pretty modest, but there is a crassness. This is some of the same issues that we've seen surrounding Day 1 DLC, the idea that at the $60 purchase point that you're really not getting everything that there is. You can start to see that this could metastasize into something a little bit more onerous, and that could undermine, the skills of the developer to have good game design. Now, who knows? This could have been an objective that was put into place at Microsoft Game Studios all those months ago. It's something that we'll see go away. I haven't seen any strong comments. It's something that I don't think undermines the games, but it's something to keep our eye on. Obviously, games have to find new ways to make money because $60 at the cost of some of these games doesn't really offset the cost of the game development. But by trying to kind of hit up the player again and again and again, that starts to make the games feel less in that sense of creativity and experience and more like a carnival ride. All right, before we get to the second part, I'd like to take a break and give a big shout out and thank you to our sponsor, lynda.com. Lynda.com is an online learning company with more than 77,000 video tutorials that teach software, creative, and business skills.
The memberships start at $25 per month, and they provide unlimited 24/7 access to top-quality video courses taught by expert instructors with real-world experience. You can learn anywhere, anytime, and at your own pace, from bite-sized tutorials to comprehensive courses in web design, programming, photography, business, audio and video, 3D, and animation. New courses are added every week, and the training library keeps pace with today's fast-changing technical and software skills. You can learn on the go with our optimized mobile site or a free iPhone and iPad app for members. You can try lynda.com for free for 7 days and help out Rev3 Games by visiting lynda.com/something. So, yeah, Friday, Xbox One went off. I was like, okay, good. The consoles are out. I'm gonna go home. My back was absolutely screwed up from all the game playing. I was like, you know what? I'm gonna go to the chiropractor. I'm gonna go get a massage. And that managed to get me sick. You know, all the rubbing and the blood pumping suddenly, boom, cold. I was laid up for the weekend with the cold. And I thought, you know what? I'm gonna go play a game. And I haven't played Assassin's Creed 4 Black Flag. I'm like, you know what? I'm gonna play it. And guess what? I played it on my PlayStation 4. Why? Because that was the copy that I had in my home. Although I can say, man, that made a good case for that controller yet again. Regardless, I actually really started enjoying the game. It was familiar, I was slashing people, and I got into that mode where I wanted to collect everything. You know, I just felt like I had that day stretching out in front of me. I got nothing to do. I'm feeling kind of crappy. You know what, I'm gonna collect everything. And then I got my boat, and I'm like, you know what, I'm gonna keep on bombing other boats, and I'm gonna try things that probably aren't gonna work. But you know what, screw it. I have the time on my hands. And I just found myself having a type of fun, a fun that was wholly independent from any critical evaluation or any kind of complex thought going through my head. I was just being a pirate, jumping on boats and stabbing people in the throat and thinking, God, that would have been a lot of fun to do, except it probably wouldn't have back in those days because it would have smelled more like blood. You can't smell that in video games now. But really, all in all, it reminded me of something that I think, unfortunately, I find myself getting lost from, where the game becomes so much work that you're just so engaged with it that you forget that it is still about escapism. It's about pleasure. It's about fun and all those quiet things that happen in the design of the game to make that occur, but they aren't exactly in the forefront. They're not reminding you, because that would really undermine the entire experience if they're going like, this is why you're having fun. And it was just kind of a wonderful, laid back, nice weekend of being a pirate. And one other thing crossed my mind. I didn't check the internet the entire time.